What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your daily astrology horoscope for Thursday, December 29th, 2022. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. Truly appreciate you all so much. Hope everybody's doing well. Welcome to Mercury retrograde. Let's take a look at this Mercury here. It's going to station retrograde at, really, it's like 131, just on the cusp, but I have this chart at 132, so it is what it is. But this is the moment that Mercury stations retrograde in Capricorn at 24 degrees, Venus right on Mercury's tail. So this is that snapshot moment, and even there's a little S for station, but it is snapshot, right? Like, take a mental picture here, because we're going to come to a lot of understandings. Even though everybody trips about Mercury retrograde, I think that this one has a lot of positives. It's going to be more about the understanding of our values, our pleasures, the things that make us feel good, the people in our life. There's a lot that we want to commit to with Capricorn energy, and this is definitely going to show, like, when all's said and done, we know what we're going to commit to. So Pluto's there. There is a lot of depth. There's a lot of feeling. There's a lot of transformation that this Mercury retrograde is going to bring up, and it's crossing over all that energy that Venus retrograded at last year, and we're retracing a lot of steps here. So I think that it's very potent, and don't sweat the small stuff with a Mercury retrograde. The small stuff, there's things are going to go haywire, right? Things are going to mess up here and there, and it's just about not tripping. We don't have to be so gung-ho right now and just blah, like, we're going to make it, all this stuff happen. Like, just let the little stuff go. There's big things. Capricorn's about the important stuff. There are important things that we're recalibrating and realigning with right now, and getting to the, the point of the value for what that is in our life. And the little stuff, we just don't want to sweat it. We got to kind of learn to let that go. The moon for this retrograde is going to be at 29 of Pisces. It's conjunct Jupiter in Aries. They're both at these powerful degrees. So I think that it is important to know that there's going to be a lot of emotion. This moon's in Pisces. It's feeling everything. It's hypersensitive to so many things, so many energies. And it's also very potent because it's so psychic, and the feeling is so important. And it's also in sextile to Pluto. We got Neptune in sextile to Mercury retrograde, and Venus with a 2-degree orb. So there's a lot of, there's so much soul growth happening with this Mercury retrograde. It's not even funny, to be completely honest. And really getting back into understanding the bigger picture of what we're doing, why we're here, who we're doing it with. So many little things are going to start to make sense as we progress into the end of January and February. But it's just one of those times where we're coming to a new year, and we can definitely want to start things. There's cardinal energy everywhere. Things are started. Don't doubt that. Just know that it's we don't have to have all the perfect understandings yet. And Mercury retrograde's a big deal because Mars is retrograde in Gemini. So everywhere we look, this is like mental struggle. It's a mental war in a lot of ways that we're doing to ourselves. So we gotta understand where we're putting too much mental force in our life and learn to let these things go. And there's a lot of benefit too with the moon and Jupiter here at these powerful degrees of 0 and the energetic degree of 29 Pisces. But it's like, holy crap, there is things that are going to change, and we have to be able to accept that, and then find the confidence to expand the stories that are about to illuminate and grow in our life. And it's very important to remember. As we look at the day of this chart, of course, Venus is going to pass Mercury. So it's kind of, crazy that Mercury just stops and Venus is just like, see you later. So our values and our relationships, like, there's so much that we're going to dedicate for here and to put, quality effort in. And Venus is getting ready to meet with Pluto, so we're starting to feel this coming up, which we're not even going to see Venus and Pluto conjunct in 2023 because Venus is going to retrograde. So and Venus, did retrograde on Pluto last year. So believe it or not, like there are going to be revelations coming through, but they're going to come through more through the senses than the mind. And I think that if you can stay open to the really how you feel and what does provide your physical existence with pleasure, which is probably not worrying about what a Mercury retrograde is going to do or what X is going to come back into your life, but really just being and feeling and acting with an intensity that is about alignment and beautification of, a new sort of structure where society's changing, where our own structures in life, our own, big picture is changing. The moon's going to cross over Jupiter after that as we come into the day, and it's in Aries, so we're definitely fired up. I would say like the snapshot is the moon in Pisces, but there's a fired up energy where we can also be overly extravagant with moon Jupiter and moon in Aries. We're also going to see the moon square the sun at 8 degrees, so we're going to see that first quarter square with the moon and the sun, which is definitely like, let's get things done. Let's handle business. I'm ready. I'm here. And it's kind of like, again, with Jupiter there, it's this kind of over exaggerated energy. It's good to be confident. It's good to feel empowered, of course. But, there's definitely certain things that we definitely want to like double check and like make sure, is this actually me? Is this actually what feels good? Is this actually what I want to put all my effort into? Is this the long-term plans? Is this sustainable? There's definitely like questions that can come up. And I think that anytime we can kind of pump the brakes with this square, we will see exactly how to empower ourselves moving forward and what can be built. But there is a little bit of tension. And then Mercury's offline and Mars is offline and Uranus is offline. And of course, the moon at 29 will be in semi-square, and especially right when it ingresses over Jupiter in semi-square to Uranus. Very interesting. Like we are just getting so much, I guess, direction in life right now and trying to, really skyrocket upwards. But there's some crazy impulse that feels like it has to be done now. And I think we want to be just, the more we can just actually like check ourselves, the better. But there is an identification of feeling that is great. And we can feel good when we are doing the little things that are empowering ourselves and definitely not holding on to some guilt from the past or, isolating ourselves in some, mental prison. I would say that that's important to keep in mind as well. But this is a very potent day for the feeling and to know that the story is on its way and there's so much that's going to get uncovered over the next 3 weeks, but really over the next month, that you'll look back on this time about like the end of 2022, and if you're stressed out and worked up, you'll look back and be like, gosh, that was so silly. Everything worked out in this really, divine order, exactly as it was meant to. And I think that that's Neptune trying to cool us and say, chill, there's a plan. Like God's got the wheel. I know it feels like nobody's driving this ship right now, or even in Capricorn, like, where's the captain? Like I'm the captain, but it's like we got to give up, rank to something bigger at times. And this is definitely like, just do what is necessary. Don't work yourself into the dirt. Don't beat yourself up. Things are going to work out exactly as they're meant to, and you will be shocked as we come into 2023, especially after January 18th when we do. Well, it is actually January 22nd that we get all planets direct. That's when Uranus will go direct. So so much is about to be just online moving forward. This is just the one thing I could say today is like, this is not the time now to stress or worry because everything is going to show itself. And I think Venus-Pluto on New Year's Eve is going to be a part of that. So much of the quality of life is going to be understood from a very deep place within us, but it's not the mind. The mind is not deep. I'm saying, like, this is soul depth here that is showing the way to value, alignment, relationships. That is very important. So overall, I do like this energy, and I'm telling you, this is going to be, it is the fourth retrograde of 2022. So we've had a lot of these Mercury retrogrades, and we've had a lot of retrogrades. There was 6 planets at one time retrograde, right? So the evolution has been insane internally for the collective, and some people trip, some people don't. Sometimes we trip, we get back up. This is definitely a time to remember we can always get back up. It's a good pick-me-up day. Confidence is good. Overconfidence can get you into trouble and have you feeling like there's no way you'll ever get further in life. And that is simply not true. So it's just like we can overly emotionally stress or mentally stress, and it's definitely like there's so much ready to go. If you can find the power within yourself to not just trip and lose your mind, you're going to be good. And we're also seeing the sun start to square Chiron, and the moon will hit that Chiron by the end of the night. So, we just don't want to be overly sensitive and feel like we're this victim to our own plans, our own identity, our own goals, our own destiny, like all these different, big ideals and like the big pressure that we put on ourselves. Like it's not time for that. Like the healing it's really in the not putting ourselves into a crazy mental place, and especially a crazy emotional place where we feel like we can't or we're not good enough. Because we have these plans that aren't going exactly as we planned it. That's life. And that's going to be, especially these next 3 weeks, until Mars comes direct and Mercury comes direct. So don't let your mind trick you. That's the best advice I can give you. It's going to look better than you think. So yeah, just pay attention to that, and I think we'll all be all right. There's somebody has the wheel, I promise you. I know we want the wheel in our hands right now. We want to be the driver in the seat and make the moves and make the calls, and that time is definitely coming. So don't doubt that for a second. Like we're in 5 months here of Jupiter in Aries. Trust me, we're going to get our hands on the wheel and make the moves for ourselves. I'm going to pull one astrology oracle card and then one major arcana. I don't know. I feel like mixing it up. Somebody mentioned runes. Actually, Lauren mentioned runes to me the other day. I don't know anything about, like, I know what runes are. I've never used them or studied them. So maybe that's something I'll learn. I tend to learn new things when Mercury's retrograde, and maybe that's because I was born with a stationed retrograde Mercury at 25 Capricorn, so not too far from where this Mercury stationing. Very similar, with the sun at 7 coming to 8 degrees, and then Mercury at this degree, very similar to my sun and Mercury. So might end up like me when all's said and done. No, I'm just kidding. But I don't know if there's one good quality I have. It's that I really just am very good at not being attached, and I'm very good at just letting go of the wheel. Like, trust me, I'm Aries rising, Capricorn sun, 10th house, sun midheaven. I want to go after things in life. I want to have the wheel, but I also do know that things take time and that there's a divine order, and we're all going to get where we need to be, believe it or not. And so, I would say that that's, a good message too for anybody that is struggling right now. And I'll tell you one thing too, is I do not overthink about anything. When something comes up, I think about it for a second, and if I like it, cool. If I don't like it, cool. On to the next. It's definitely helped me. I know that not everybody works that way, but this is, I would say, a time in the astrology and in life where that would actually be beneficial, is to, really just learn to let thoughts go, because they can get really sketch here. And we can like start digging ourselves our own grave, and that's not necessary either. All right, what's the astrology oracle card? 5th house, creativity. That's funny because I was definitely like feeling like the creative sort of energy that this Mercury retrograde is going to bring, and Venus, Pluto, and these aspects to Neptune. I'm serious. Like, you're going to see so much of what is unseen in your own life, in the world, and it's going to give us so much identification and opportunity to make things happen and to really get that positive I am presence to create aspects in life that really do bring us happiness, that really do make us, just feel like we're doing something that is bringing the right kind of drama into our life, the right kind of excitement, and the right kind of love. And it's almost like we're really just going to see that so much of the program is putting so much time and effort and energy and thought into things that don't even bring us love or happiness. And we all do it. Trust me, I do it too. And we're realizing more and more that that just isn't how the future is going to work out, especially for the ones that are awake spiritually, or have that sort of presence. Like, it's just not going to work for them anymore. The vibration is to that point. So you can call me out on that if I'm wrong. And the major arcana card for today is the Magician. Magic. Fifth house magic. Do not sweat the small stuff. There is everything that you didn't even know you want, but you do want, that's going to show up when all's said and done. The creative energy, the love energy, the good energy is just like ready to be identified, but don't stress on the small stuff right now. I'm telling you, if you can get out of that and because that is going to take the magic away. But anytime you can quiet yourself down and let things go and just chill and find the serenity within yourself, your mind will be blown. So I really think that's the message for this horoscope. And, hey, if you don't believe me, that's fine. I don't even know, maybe I just make this up. I don't know. But I do believe that that's true. And I feel it. And that's the one thing that I can go off of, is that I feel it. And I hope you do too. Wishing you all the best. And I will see you all for Friday's horoscope tomorrow. Much love. Peace.